Hello, welcome to House to Home. I'm Kris Munsch, and as always, thank goodness, Andrea's with me.
Yep.
Andrea Clinkscales here today. What are we doing today, Andrea?
Well, it's cold out, so
it is cold out.
Let's do something warm.
Yeah, speaking of warm, we should probably do, maybe we should talk about air conditioning, huh?
Yeah, I don't think so. No need for that today.
Yeah, exactly. What we're going to do today is, in the last episode, we kind of started out with the structure, and we talked about some of the inside and airflows and some things. And I think this kind of fits nicely. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go in the house where it's a little bit warmer. Notice I'm still carrying the football because that's kind of where we're starting out with heating systems. Instead of talking about geothermal right away, we'll start off with just kind of the basics of a furnace. I think that's kind of the best place to start. And start at the ground, move up. This is a football. What do you think? Should we go in the house?
Yep, let's do it.
Yes, bring a pencil. We'll see you in a minute.
After a hard day's work, there's nothing quite like enjoying an ice-cold beer and biting into a juicy Q burger from the Golden Q and Haze. The Q offers 12 beers on tap from the ice-cold Blizzard beer system, poured at a chilly 27 to 30 degrees. When it comes to burgers, the Golden Q is the only choice. Try the Q burger or one of the many specialty burgers like the Bacon Extreme or 4-cheese double cheeseburger. If a burger's not your thing, a delicious sandwich or bowl of homemade soup is waiting for you. And remember, if the game's on, they're open. The Golden Q, 8th and Ash and Haze.
I'm Jennifer Tepfer, and I found my new home at Williams Real Estate.
I'm Jerry Wilson, and I found my new home at Williams Real Estate.
I'm Jennifer Johnson, and I found my new home with Williams Real Estate.
We found our new home. Let us help you find yours.
Williams Real Estate, for residential or commercial, 1011 East 27th Street in Hayes in the Eagle Business Plaza. Or you can see them online at williamsrealestate.net.
Natural gas is a clean, safe, economical energy source when installed and used properly. Your gas furnace or stove should have a steady blue flame. If not, call a qualified contractor for service. And if you smell that distinctive natural gas odor, leave your home or business immediately. Call Midwest Energy from a neighbor's phone and we'll be right there. Gas safety tips from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Inspiration, it's all around us. You just need to know where to look. Investing in your house is one of the best financial things you can do for your family. At First Assured Mortgage, we're inspired by you to help you find the best loan for your needs. Come and see us at First Assured Mortgage, where we're locally owned, and we'll meet you anytime, in the evening or during the day. 785-621-4447.
All right, hey, we're having a little fun off camera there. Welcome back to House to Home, Kris and Andrea. We've made our way inside, and I'm going to tell you something. It's a lot warmer in here, isn't it?
It is. I had to shed my coat already.
It's a little nicer being indoors right now. And we came indoors so we could talk about furnaces and about heating. I guess not just furnaces, but heating systems in general. And I think one of the things people don't think about their furnace until it stops working.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're like,
you're gonna notice that.
They're over there flipping that switch on the wall. They're like, my furnace doesn't work. Where is my furnace? It's like, by the way, are we supposed to change filters on that thing? People just kind of forget about them. Yeah. They're one of those hidden, kind of like the foundation, in a way. Mm-hmm. Foundations are, they play this huge role in your house, but we don't think about them.
Until something goes wrong.
Ah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and being an old house, look at here. The furnace has actually been put into the, what was a coat closet at one time. So what we're going to do is follow us in here. We're going to let Andrea go in first, and then I'm going to stand on her shoulders, and we're going to reach up to the top and see what we can do. So follow us in here. Aha, look at here. March 27th, 1997. That's actually a good idea when you put in a furnace to write the date on there so you're aware. When you come in and look at this furnace, you really, pretty quickly, I think that's a pretty new furnace. Then you look at 1997, you're like,
that is
wait
surprising.
A minute. That isn't as new as you would think. Yeah. Furnaces, you get 10, 15 years on a furnace, and 10 years I wouldn't say, but 15 to 20 years, it's like we need to start thinking about replacing them. But so why don't we pop the covers off this bad boy and let's see what we got in here. Oh man, look at that. That's pretty cool stuff. Here, let's that thing pop clear off of there? I don't know. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's get that thing clear out of the way. Hit Jeff in the head. How about, will this top cover come off too? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't hit me in the head.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. This is the fun stuff, huh? So, you know, we kind of mentioned that. Gosh, when we were out at Midwest Energy, we were talking about airflow and how things work, and this is what it's all about right here. Airflow, downdrafts, you get too much air coming back through your through vent pipes that they're not supposed to, and how is air moving through the rooms, and there's a lot of stuff that can happen.
This is a big factor to all of that.
Oh, it's huge. And the other side is cost. You know, these are not. It's not a cheap appliance, I guess, if you want to say. Kind of like buying a car sometimes, but.
So tell me what we're looking at here.
Okay, well, this is a dishwasher.
Let's hope not. I don't know that.
Okay, so the way this is set up is this is actually a downflow furnace. You know, when we go out and talk to an expert, they can talk more about downflow, upflow, but most houses, and I shouldn't say most, it really depends on where you are, where you're living, where your furnace is set up. And because of this was a retrofit to this house was built, it was actually built as a barn,
right,
and then converted into a house in the 30s. Okay. So this is obviously probably the third, maybe your fourth, you never know, furnace that's been in here. But this is set up as a downflow, meaning that the air travels through it from the top. So these are air returns, the vents that are out around that air return, so it brings it in. You have your blower cabinet first, okay? And then we have our burn cabinet, so this is where the heat's created. And then our bottom is the A coil, so this is where the air conditioning comes from. And we'll do a whole episode just on air conditioning. So
heat and air conditioning are kind of one unit.
They are one unit, but separate. But they work together because if the A coil's plugged, the air can't. I mean, it just, it's, you know what, it's really kind of cool because when we talked about, we talked at Fort Hays about how foundations and floor systems and wall systems and
they're
roof
all
systems.
Connected. This is all connected.
Same thing. It all just works the same.
Okay. So what does this first section do here?
The first section is strictly the blower. So when you hear your furnace kick on, you hear the vents start air. That's all this is about. That squirrel cage, you've heard of a squirrel cage blower?
No.
Yeah, that's actually called a squirrel cage, and the reason is because it's round. And you know, you get a squirrel there and they run.
That's a hamster.
Yeah, like a hamster. It should be called a hamster cage. But that's how that paddles the air through, so it draws
through
it
the house.
Right.
Okay.
Pulls it down through the vents, down through here, down through the burning chamber. And this is what's kind of cool about this setup is you can tell right away that this is a higher efficient furnace because of the assist. So this is an air assist motor that helps pull the air through the burner chamber and helps exit it out. The other thing that tells me that this is actually a more modern, it's kind of a modern old furnace in a way, one of the probably original high efficient furnaces that came out. It's because of the plastic vent pipe. Here, when we look at these vent pipes, that tells me that they are drawing as much heat as possible out of the heat chamber and putting it into the house, not out the exhaust. When you see an old furnace that has a metal flue pipe, it's metal because a lot of the gas is going out the roof. Things to think about. Something that actually Brian at Midwest Energy that we visited with at the last episode, he does blower door testing where they test all that. He can tell you for every $1 you put into your furnace, how much you're keeping in the house and how much is going out.
Wow.
So that's a pretty cool thing. But you can actually tell in this furnace, when I open this up and I see the rust in here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, you know, is that a concern?
There's something going on with this furnace that's causing some, maybe there's a condensate leak. That's one thing that when we're out with our expert. He can talk more about how condensate forms from taking out so much heat. But wow, there's a lot of stuff to learn about these things. Which, as a matter of fact, maybe that's what we should be doing, is heading out to find an expert. I am expert enough to get us in trouble. Yeah.
That's usually my place.
Oh no, let me tell you, we all can get in trouble. So maybe what we should do is put the covers back on, hop on the truck, and we'll run out to Glassman, And they have an expert waiting for us. He has some systems set up, and let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can learn.
Awesome. Sounds
All right.
great.
Follow us out there.
Western Supply in Hayes has been working with local contractors and homeowners for over 25 years, providing faucets and fixtures for new home and remodeling projects. Come on into Western Supply and let their in-house consultants work with you. Western Supply has 2 brand new showrooms full of ideas to meet all of your kitchen and bath needs. If you can dream it, we have it. Everything from one-piece and multi-piece showers to bathroom tubs and tops. It's all right here.
Come see us at Western Supply, 1207 Cedar, Hayes.
Why go anywhere else but Horizon Appliance and Electronics for quality name brand appliances like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Maytag, plus many state-of-the-art electronics such as Samsung, LG, and Sharp TVs, plus America's most recommended mattress, Tempur-Pedic, even Traeger grills. A full selection of quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses all under one roof. Horizon Appliance and Electronics in Hayes, open 7 days a week.
Moving is hard. So much has happened here. I mean, this was Grace's first home. But this new home, well, it's what we always dreamed about. And it's so exciting to think of what will begin here.
And I will do it for you.
For auto, home, life, and health, see American Family Insurance Agent Whitey Cole of Hayes and Ellis.
Your house, you've painted it, fixed it, you've insured it, paid its taxes, and you've loved it. We think it owes you big time. So at Bank of Hayes, we've made it easy to take some of that equity you put into your house and turn it into cash you can put in your pocket. And with that cash, you can do anything. With Home Equity Line of Credit, we'll make your house pay. And it's about time.
Building better ways. The Bank of Hayes.
Building better ways. The Bank of Hayes.
All right, as promised, we are out at Glassman Climate Control, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. First thing I do when I walk into this place, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love tools, and I haven't been out here before, so this is cool. Andrea and I came out to Glassman, and we are with Dave.
I'm Dave Rupp with Glassman Corporation. I've been working for the family since 1976, and started out the sheet metal department and progressed to the service department, and right now I'm the service manager.
Dude, you've been here a while.
I've been here a few years.
You're almost as old as some of the furnaces I've seen out there.
Yes, some of the older furnaces.
Some of those coal, when we're shoveling coal into the bottom of that baby and stoking it up, black smoke belching out of the furnace. Well, that's why we're here. You're the expert. As I told Andrea before the break, I know just enough to get in trouble. And I'm going to guess that's probably how a lot of people are out there. Yeah. They think they understand, or we had talked earlier too about, people don't even think about their furnace till it breaks.
Till it breaks, and that's usually the time we get the call.
And it's a cold winter day, and there's snow drifts blowing, and it's that's the way it works. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Right now, before the season even opens, a lot of the homeowners need to give somebody a call. If they haven't had it serviced for at least a year, you're better off to call somebody to come in at least to clean it, check the gas pressures on it, make sure whatever type unit you do have, it is up to its running efficiencies.
Yeah, because now we're talking, because there's all kinds of different, you run into all kinds of different types of furnaces. Correct. Upflow, downflow.
If your furnace is over 20 years old, you probably have got a furnace that's probably 65, 70% efficient. Years ago, gas was cheap.
Yeah.
They didn't really care. You could buy gas.
Yeah.
If it's that old, if you open up your furnace, you're going to look at it. You're going to see a burner on the bottom, and it's going to come on, and it's going to heat up, and it's going to blow. The newer furnaces these days, your blowers are actually, or your burners are actually on the top, and they actually use another blower to suck the fumes down to a thinner wall, and for the common 80%ers, that's what they do. For a 90%er, they go a little bit further. They suck it down and put it into another heat exchanger, and those are the ones that we see the PVC pipes sticking out of the house.
Yeah.
So when you say 90%er, you mean 90% efficiency compared to that 65?
Yeah, compared to the 65. They go from 90. once you go to a 90%, you're using PVC pipe.
Yeah.
You're actually cooling the gas that you used to let go out your chimney in the heat. They're actually sucking that back down again, using that extra heat that used to go out your chimney.
Yeah.
And then they condense it a little bit more, and it's cool enough to where they can just exhaust it out your house.
Then. You can almost drive around and see sometimes where there's like quarters and dimes and nickels and pennies flying out of the roof. I mean, literally, because that's what it is. I mean, it's money. You're spending all this money. The old furnaces. How do you know when to start thinking about? I mean, how do you know? You talk about having them serviced once a year. I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of people that don't have them serviced once every 10 years, you know, and they don't change their filters. I'm a proponent of, I always say filters are cheap, change them once a month is what I always say.
A lot of it depends on how tight you have your house is. If your house is tight and you keep the dirt out, every 3 months you can get by. If you have an older home, it's a lot draftier. Yeah. You get a lot more dirt, a lot more dust coming in, and you have to change them a lot more often.
I always like changing my filter more often because then I don't have to vacuum.
Well, does that work that way?
No, it doesn't work, but it makes me feel good. That's why I carry 2 beers. It's just a lot easier. I don't know where you found me. But and we're standing next to a furnace, and this would be an upflow, right?
This would be an upflow furnace, correct.
And how do I know it's an upflow?
On an upflow, it's hard to tell. They actually call this a multi-poise, to where you can actually take this and lay it
on its side.
On its side.
So it can even be horizontal.
Wow. Horizontal. You can take it and turn it upside down if you want to. And make it the other direction. Correct. They make a furnace nowadays.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, instead of one furnace, you can buy one furnace and you can use it in multiple positions.
I had no idea, because the old ones, I mean, they had to specifically set a specific direction.
The older ones now,
I didn't
know
that.
They still make them that you can either have an upflow or a downflow, but they also make them to where you just buy one and you can use it whichever direction, whatever you want to do.
And it's interesting here, because you're right. The old furnaces, the burners are across the bottom, where this one here is up here, and so it's forcing it backwards.
It's actually sucking everything down through this other heat exchanger. If you look down through the top, you'll see the other heat exchanger down below. And as it's condensating it'll pull it out, and it'll collect it here and blow it out for you.
And that's and these condensate just like air conditioning.
Just like an air conditioning.
Yeah.
Correct.
And they put off a lot of condensate.
Put off. It depends on how often they run.
Right. It depends. Yeah, but that's, you know, and then we have the blower cabinet, and it's funny because in the last segment I said, you know, if the blower cabinet's here, that means it's an upflow. Yeah.
Not necessarily.
That's why we're out here, huh?
Yep.
Not necessarily.
Wow.
Like I said, I know just enough to get us in trouble.
Some of the newer models they've got nowadays, another way that they're trying to get their efficiencies up on the total unit is they went to a electronic motorized controlled motor, where it's the new they call it an EMC motor. It basically costs about what a light bulb, a 120 watt light bulb would when you turn it on to run, compared to the other motors. And that's another way that they're getting their efficiencies up. They're not only doing it with the gas, they're doing it on the electrical side also.
Didn't even think about the electrical side. So I mean, you're talking about getting people, you know, professionals to come out and take a look at their furnace, kind of give you because you've done this a long time. You can look at a furnace and say, hey, I mean, getting to a point you see things that you've seen before, and you're like, okay, there's some signs here that, you know, we need to replace.
Correct.
We need to look.
If you start seeing,
well, we saw like rust down in
rust and stuff.
Yeah.
Your furnace is starting to sweat, and basically, from your gas pressure might not be right, causing it to do that, and a heat exchanger could be going out. There's a lot of different things. Or the big culprit a lot of times is that your condenser has been plugged up for your air conditioner, and not knowing it is dripping through the inside and starting to wear on your heat exchangers. It'll drip down through, and you won't notice it until it's too late, until you see that puddle on the floor.
Right, and it goes back to the episode 1. We talked about how all these parts and pieces work together. The same thing in a furnace. all the parts and pieces work together. I mean, it's really interesting. We were talking before we started about vents. You had a question about.
Yeah, you know, if it gets cold and you use a room you don't use a lot, you know, can you shut off vents in, say, your whole basement to help keep the other part of the house warm? Does that work that way?
You can do it. I wouldn't recommend it. You can shut off 1, maybe 2 vents. The problem is during heating season, you start shutting off the vents, the furnace doesn't have no place to blow that air, so it's going to build up heat and it's going to hurt your furnace. It's got a limit switch in the furnace to where if it does do that, it's going to automatically shut it off, but
and then it's not heating the rest of the house.
It's not heating the rest of the house. Yeah. During the cooling season, if you do it, if you don't get the air away, your coil gets too cold, and a lot of people call up and say, it's froze over, it's a block ice, and that's what it will do. It will actually turn into a block ice.
And that's typically when you get out the margarita mix, and you guys gather up your things, and you get your little mixer and your smash, you're like, let's go on over there and have a margarita.
So that's usually what we say, well, turn it on fan.
Just fan only.
Fan only, and we'll come back in about a half an hour, 45 minutes after it all thaws out, and then go from there, and then try to figure out whether you're low on charge or if you've shut registers down in your house.
Yeah.
Or along that line.
And there's a number of vents, and that's for a reason. And you need the vents, and that's to keep a balanced system. Goes back to when we talked to Brian out at Midwest Energy. You have these vents, and they're balanced. And dude, I'll tell you what, I am glad we came out here.
Yeah.
This is a sign. I should recognize. Maybe you don't. You already recognize it. That we need experts.
Well,
and you've done it.
Anytime somebody has a question, or if you have a problem, we give free estimates on furnaces. I've talked to a lot of people on the phone. You know, small problems. If I can work you through a problem, I'll work you through a problem.
That's very cool.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Join us in the next segment, and we'll wrap this up today.
With high winds and sub-freezing temperatures, Kansas winters can be brutal. But take heart, Glassman Plumbing, Heating and Air is only a phone call away. We will service your existing furnace system, or if required, replace it with a high-efficiency Carrier system. Affordable, warm comfort from Glassman and Carrier. Turn to the experts and stay warm and cozy all winter with Glassman Plumbing, Heating and Air.
The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating and Air.
You see their trucks all over the area. The name, JDR Painting. They're getting great reviews for great painting jobs. JDR Painting. Respecting your home and your business with great painting results. JDR Painting, a new way to get a little, medium, and big painting job done. You can even book your painting jobs online to be done when you want it done. Schedule it now at repaintkansas.com. JDR Painting, a new and refreshing way to paint.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Gable with Technology Integration Solutions. Call us today for a free estimate and let us see how we can simplify things for you.
It's not hard to figure out why Western Stone & Hayes is so busy these days. Since opening their doors in 2008, their motto has been a simple one: offer a high-quality product in a very timely manner. Take a look around. Their work speaks for itself. If it's important to you to have someone call you back, getting the job done quickly, professionally, and on budget, then give Western Stone a call to book your project today. With everything manufactured on site, Western Stone products are built to outlast the competition. Western Stone, just east of Walmart in Hayes.
Hey, welcome back to House to Home. This is Andrea, and we have been out. We looked at first an old furnace, part of the house that Kris is working on, and then we came out to Glassman and talked with Dave about some of the newer models that are out there now, and ways to take care of your furnace and things like that. And we've got, well, Kris, come on.
Oh man. I got to tell you something. I'm sorry. I get distracted easy. Tools.
Yeah, squirrel.
Tools distract me. Toys. Look at this stuff. Oh my goodness.
I know.
I think I'm going to stick around, maybe build some ductwork. That's what those.
Ductwork. All right.
Ductwork's that stuff that goes in the ceiling we don't see that we take for granted. By
Yeah.
the way, I don't even think we mentioned that.
We didn't.
Goes on the top, goes around through the house, creates that pressure, and it lets the air come out that
It
vent.
takes the air to all the different places in your house.
Puts it out there like a big old octopus upside down, and just kind of feeds all those rooms.
Yeah.
It's good stuff today, huh?
Yeah, it's been great.
Another good stuff. I learned stuff. Had no idea, and I thought I was an expert on furnaces. I didn't know you could turn these things
No,
upside down,
I
around.
didn't either.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it's making me wonder if I should put my furnace on a rotisserie. Like a rotating furnace.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I don't know if that'll work.
I like it.
Okay.
Can you imagine sitting in a lawn chair and just watching your furnace go around?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go home to my house where it stays put.
Keeps it even in the living room.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I tell you what. Hey, by the way, before I forgot about it, did we get any questions from last week?
Yeah, actually we did. I had a question about the Midwest Energy audit on a home. Like, how long is it till they get back with you on doing that audit, and how long does that free audit take?
Right. Then you're talking about the energy audit.
Yes.
How long does it take?
Well, it took them just within 24 hours to come back out to the house and to be there, you know, if that works for you. So
That's
real
cool.
quick turnaround.
That's cool, yeah.
And it took them about an hour to go around the house and check everything out.
And you know what's cool too is, what I heard is the first part of that is they use the infrared camera. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to grunt so much, but we're kind of in my environment.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's good stuff, yeah, so that's cool. So they can take that infrared camera around, see where the air leaks are, and see what's going on with your house. We're out here at Glassman. We talked about furnaces, and they can come out and check your. There's a lot to know, but at the exact same time, depend on the experts. I mean, that's why they have all this experience. We had Dave. I mean, you can tell that guy knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah,
and that's who I'm going to depend on. There are people like that. So good stuff.
Yeah, it's been great.
This is good stuff. So, all right. Hey, when we come back, we are going to hit If My Walls Could Talk. We'll see you in just a moment.
If you're ready to replace your bath or shower enclosure and want a professional installation, stop by Advantage Glass Plus in Hayes. Select a standard or customized enclosure, framed or frameless, with hinged, pivoting, or sliding doors. Give your bath some personality and style with patterned glass available in many textures, including obscured, clear, and rain. Let the glass experts from Advantage Glass Plus create your new bath enclosure. 1005 Vine in Hayes. Find our ad in the Next Tech directory.
Stop by the Heartland Building Center discount store and save on all kinds of markdown merchandise. Quality windows in a variety of shapes, sizes, and styles. Interior and exterior doors, closet doors, even patio doors. Several styles of trim and baseboard discontinued and moved, as well as paint and stain in various colors and finishes. Save now at the Heartland Building Center discount store, west of Heartland Building Center in Hayes.
Heartland takes your building needs to heart.
When that garage door doesn't open like it used to, then it's time to call Strobel Door and Repair of Russell. They'll travel to almost anywhere in Kansas to repair or replace garage doors for residential or commercial applications. The crews from Strobel can replace your garage door, adjust it, and can replace or fix your garage door opener. Call them and set up your appointment today and save on that frustration. Strobel Door and Repair of Russell. Call 785-483-7665. That's 785-483-7665.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I'm looking at these buttons and, you know, it kind of reminds me of my life. That may sound kind of crazy to some people, but there are a lot of times I think I wanted to hit this emergency stop button. Yeah, there's actually several times I wanted to hit that emergency stop. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. Sometimes I wish it did, but I guess in all sense of it, I'm glad it didn't. I wanted to stay out here and do this If My Walls Could Talk out here because, you know, when you're standing, you're surrounded by this equipment and you're a guy It's easy to get lost in this stuff and just go to work and just kind of forget about everything that's happening at home, and you know, maybe struggles with your kids, and you're just not, you don't know how to relate, and you're just, guys typically just like to shut stuff down, and we just kind of disappear and work. And I think it's kind of cool to be out here and look at all the parts and gears and cylinders and notice how this all comes together. And we put in metal here, it rolls through and it comes across and out, and a product comes out. And it's all about quality and control. And I think in our lives, it's very much the same thing. I think what we want is we want to put good things into our lives, and as they flow through the daily things we're doing and our actions, I mean, you know as well as I, it's our little actions that build up to be the big things in our lives. And as the parts roll through and go through this assembly line and they come popping out this other end, we want our life to be good. I want my life to be good. As many times as I wanted to hit this emergency stop button, I'm grateful that I couldn't. After my son died, after divorce, I'll tell you what, it would be easy to hit it, but life goes on. The clock keeps ticking. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be in this space, looking at this and appreciating all these gears and bells and whistles that clunk around. Makes me go, ha, ha, ha. There was a time I didn't do that. But it's good to be home. If my walls could talk, and they do.